FSF PopCast live show. Well, hello, kids and cadets. Welcome to the FSF PopCast sidebar. Tonight, we have a topic that has set the internet back on fire because the Fandom Menace is tromping around, and Star Wars Theory is out there asking for peace and forgiveness, and can't we all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and get along? And the answer is no, we cannot. I have lots more to say about that, but before I go into the depths of which he's a jerk, I just want to go ahead and introduce the show. Say hi to John, everybody. Hi, John.
Everybody. How you doing tonight? I'm in a special kind of mood today.
It is. Tonight's show might be a little spicier than normal. I'm in a mood. John's in a mood. It's been a day, and it's like Monday part 4. So, yeah. Or as I like to put it, it's 2020 part 5. Honor says, I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Honor. And if you're watching, I have to be careful what I say. Okay. That changes things a little.
Anyway,
she still hasn't learned those words from me, okay?
Well, that's something to hang on to right there. Kathleen likes it when I'm spicy
with you, Kathleen.
Oh.
So last weekend, I had so much fun. I got food poisoning.
I heard you. Yeah.
I lost 5 pounds over the weekend.
It's the greatest weight loss program you've ever had, and you never felt hungry at all.
Do not recommend. So, yeah. So my Monday was actually Tuesday, but that was a carryover from last Friday. So I'm on Monday part. I'd have to take my shoes and socks off. I can't count that high.
Right?
But yeah. It's been a week.
It has been. He was like a baking soda volcano.
Okay, so Mom, I'm sorry if you're watching this. If anybody has ever seen the movie The Exorcist, I was like that, but with limited range of motion on my neck. It was bad.
Yeah.
I will spare you some of the gorier details, but
I think
bad.
That's enough. Yeah.
Started feeling thinking about it, Tim.
No, I'm good. We can stop talking about it anytime now.
All right, good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay.
Let's do that.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
When I could hear splatter from the other room over the kids' bedtime stories. Jesus.
Yeah, Honor was actually really worried about me.
I didn't know it was that big. Kathleen kept telling me that you were pretty sick. I didn't realize that you were that sick. Apparently, you were death to the world sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk about something fun like spiders.
No. Tonight, this is our topic. It hit the news because, according to a Variety article, which we'll get to in just a minute, it's been announced that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm at the end of 2025. So we'll get into that in a few minutes, but we're going to talk about that tonight. But before we get to those topics, we want to say thank you to you, our viewers, because without you guys, we don't have anybody to talk to, and John and I can talk to each other anytime. But yeah, we want to say thank you to Bones Coffee Company, where if you use the code FSF PopCast, you get a 10% discount on your Bones Coffee Company order, which is amazing coffee, and I strongly recommend it. Very good stuff. Idea Farm, which is formerly TCTs, where fandom meets fashion. They have lots of really cool nerdy merch for different states and different, just all kinds of different fandoms. Go check them out. If you use the code FSF15, you'll get 15% off your order there. We use non-generative AI, Eddy AI, to help us with our already pre-made stuff. They just help us cut it into sections that you guys might like on the tiki-takis and things like that. And then, of course, there is Level Up Sabers, the saber that is guaranteed to be better than a stick. And so all those links are in the show notes down below. If you click on those, they'll take you right there and, buy the merch, do the thing, help support our show. So we really, really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're watching, please don't forget to hit like and follow us here on YouTube. So,
and I'm just going to throw out there level up sabers. I mean, I've got 3 of them. One for me, one for Kathleen, one for Anara, because you have to arm the whole family.
And I still forgot to charge this for Monday, so there's that.
You've been busy. Stuff's going on. I get it.
There is,
but they use, I believe, most of the same suppliers that other saber companies online do, but they're like $50 to $100 less on average,
or more.
No, I mean level up.
Oh, you were speaking in averages. My bad.
Yeah, somewhere between $50 and $100 less expensive each than some of these other companies that are just trying to pay for their fan films.
Yeah, like
in theory.
Theory sabers.
Yeah.
Or yes, saber theory. I don't know. So the problem is there's a theory saber and there's a saber theory, and I don't know which one is for the idiot that has the Star Wars channel.
That's theory sabers.
That's theory sabers. Yeah, don't buy those. Go buy from Level Up. Even if you don't click our link, go buy from Level Up, because Master Allen's a heckin' good guy, and he is just fantabulous, and we can't say enough good things about Master Allen. Well, hello, Crusher Convo.
Hello there.
If you're by the way, if you guys are a Star Trek fan, particularly the TNG era with Beverly Crusher, that is the podcast you should be paying attention to. Jessie is awesome. She's a good friend of the show, and she's part of our extended pod family. So yeah, give her a follow, check her out, and you will not be disappointed in the awesomeness that is Jessie and the Crusher Conversations. So, all right. Did someone say all good things? Did we say all good things?
I don't know. Did we? I don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
I don't remember what I said once it came out of my mouth. So there's a possibility that one of us said that,
Yeah.
That's your fault. You moved. Pitbull found it. Yeah.
Move your feet, lose your seat.
Exactly.
And you were just saying, Tim, sometimes I start talking and I have no idea where the sentence is going to go. And it's just as exciting for me as it is everybody else in the room.
Right? Ta-da! This is what I'm saying. I can't tell you how many times I've actually gone back to, when I'm editing something or I'm watching something we did whenever back. And I'm like, I said that. All right.
Uh-huh. That's a thing that you said.
Yeah. Sometimes I amaze me, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I said that. So
yeah.
I did when talking about Level Up. Oh, okay. Yeah, everything with Level Up is good. They're good. They're good folks. Go buy Saber. Anyway, yeah. All right, so let's get into our topic for tonight, because I have things to say.
All right.
So I mentioned in our introduction that there was an article from Variety that talked about this, and everybody read this one little snippet, and they're like, oh my God, it's finally happening. Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Star Wars and Lucasfilms. And the Fandom Menace went mild. Anyway, so this is the snippet of the article. It says Kathleen Kennedy, the longtime president of Lucasfilm, is expected to step down at the end of 2025. She intends to retire after her current contract ends, according to a source with knowledge of her plans. A separate source close to Kennedy, however, dismissed the initial report by Puck as pure speculation and said nothing has been decided.
Yeah.
So everybody took that first little bit and they're like, it's happening. She is definitely leaving. And the internet has been abuzz with some of the, I'm always surprised when I think that the Fandom Menace can't go any lower, then Star Wars Theory opens his mouth and all his little cronies go, oh, our puppet master has said this, I must follow suit. And they go even lower.
Yeah, it's amazing. The reading comprehension. I realize half of the United States population does not even read at a 6th grade level, but those were not complicated sentences.
No, they weren't.
Oh, Kathleen. Yes, the Fandom Menace was basically saying, ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
They obviously haven't read Wicked. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, never believe what you see on the internet. Yeah.
That's what
I think
Abraham
I
Lincoln
hold my
told me.
saber and watch this.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you have
I'm hoping that's what happens here.
Yeah, so you have one person saying, "Oh, she's gonna retire. Her contract ended last year." So I mean, she's got like a layover contract type thing, but sentence A is she might retire. Sentence B is that's a load of crap, and people didn't get to sentence B.
Right. It's like anything else you find on the internet. They read what they wanted to read. They heard what they wanted to hear. I almost said heard what they wanted to heard. I
How
guess
much have you had to
technically I
drink
did say
tonight?
it. Actually, nothing. This is unadulterated, just regular old Coke with Dominic Hasek on it. So
Okay. This is not
but
just pineapple juice.
That is not just pineapple juice. That's good to know. No, I figured I was already spicy enough. I did not need to wet the whistle and loosen the lips. The thing is that we're in this era where everybody has decided that they can become a keyboard warrior, that they can put out whatever they want. There's, say whatever they want to say. And they have that right. I mean, that's especially here in the United States, that's supposed to be the whole point of our First Amendment freedoms is, there's freedom of the press. There's freedom, the ability to say what you want to say, freedom of speech. That doesn't, however, mean that there's freedom from consequences and freedom from reactions when people say stupid things and win stupid prizes. There was a post on Thread the other day from ICC Nashville and thanked them for the interview, with a YouTube link that said, "Let's stop hating on Star Wars theory." The amount of response from people who are not in the Fandom Menace, who are unhappy with Star Wars theory and the things that he has said, the things that he has done, what he has done to the fandom, having the biggest platform out there, and he has done nothing but spread hate and disinformation.
Right.
And it's been consistent. He has flip-flopped on everything that he used to like, because his fandom will follow him and whatever he says, and he gets clicks and money and views. He has gone back and reversed his views. He now hates the things that he used to love. And he loves the things that he used to hate.
Yeah.
And, every time his views are down on something, he throws out a Kathleen Kennedy video or something about the Acolyte. When those topics were not even out in the ether, there was nothing going on with those topics. And he decided that he needed to have something to bank on, and he needed more clicks. So this article on Threads, I'll put it right up there. That's the one, if you can see that. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
This was my comment, and you can find it on there. But my comment was, I have no issue supporting other fans and creators in our fandom, whether we agree or not. But when they cross the line into the fandom menace that Star Wars theory crossed years ago, I cannot get behind that kind of hate or disinformation. So no, I will not be doing that for him. And I stand by that.
Yeah.
I will not. I stopped following him years ago because of this type of vitriol and hate that he has for those in the Star Wars fandom. And he can say that, I'm just being a fan and I'm reacting to what I see and I'm unhappy with things. Absolutely fine to be unhappy with things. Absolutely okay to voice your opinion. I have no problem with that. John and I don't always agree on everything inside of Star Wars. No. There are things that he likes in Star Wars, things that I don't like. Same with pretty much every other fandom out there. And that's the way it should be. There should be able to have some level of discourse between two people to say that, hey, I like this thing, or B, I don't like this thing, and it be okay.
Yeah.
But theory is not okay with that. Either it's done his way or it's wrong. And either you agree with him or you're on the outside. And that doesn't make him a Star Wars fan. That makes him a Sith. And I'm not willing to deal with somebody in absolutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, okay, so complaints about Kathleen Kennedy. She is the president of Lucasfilm. She is a producer on every Lucasfilm project because she's the president.
Correct.
Right? But she is in an administrative capacity.
Correct.
Her job is to make sure the bills get paid and they don't get sued.
I really need people to look up what an executive producer does, by the way.
Not a whole lot in terms of creativity. It's a lot of negotiating, it's a lot of contracting, it's a lot of, but the
making
difference
sure
between,
the things happen and the things show up when they should be there.
Exactly. It's not like she's sitting there like rewriting lines of dialogue.
Correct.
I mean, she might have an idea once in a while, but that's like 15 minutes out of a 12-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
There's a big difference between producer and executive producer. And I think people need to understand that.
Right. But the big difference between Lucasfilm as it is now, as opposed to before the Disney acquisition, is back then, George Lucas owned the whole company. It was his private company. Yeah. Whereas now, Lucasfilm is a subsidiary of Disney, a publicly traded company.
Correct.
And so even though Kathleen Kennedy and, whoever she's got working with her, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, J.J. Abrams, whoever, they may have ideas. But
Disney, really like lens flares.
Yeah. But Disney can basically tell them what's up.
Right.
And so, whereas before, Star Wars was 3 movies, 3 years apart each. And then 16 years later, 3 more movies, 2 years apart each.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Clone Wars for 6 seasons. Well, 5-ish seasons, 5.5, something like that. And that was the whole of Star Wars. Whereas Disney applied this model of, no, we need to start cranking stuff out faster. Well, you don't get...
It's the Disney model.
Yeah. It was the Disney, we're going to have the movie come out, then we'll have the direct VHS movie, and then we'll do the animated series, and then, trying to sell toys and pajamas the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney they've made everything they buy theirs. And they can do that. I'm not complaining.
It's their right.
I would have shot my best friend to have this much Star Wars content 25 years ago. And Isaac knows that's true.
He'd be walking with a limp if it was possible.
He'd be okay with it.
He'd be like, ooh, more.
Mm-hmm.
You need this like too?
Yeah. And there are so many complaints about like, well, Disney's changed the canon and all this, that, the other. So did George.
On the fly, by the way, as he was making the movies.
Even Clone Wars, the animated show that he came up with, changed so much canon about the clones, about lightsabers, about the Jedi, from what had been in books and comics before. Suddenly all lightsabers were kyber crystals. Whereas... I'm sorry. If you played Knights of the Old Republic, how many different kinds of crystals were in that game? But suddenly it's like, it's this one kind of crystal from this one planet. And you get 2 colors, 3 if you're lucky.
Right.
I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, one of the other big complaints is that, they're ignoring the legends and all the books and they're not paying attention. I hate to break it to you, but so did George. George said that those were another universe unrelated to anything Star Wars. He was not using those for ideas. He was not using them for anything else. So George didn't care what was in the books.
No. I mean, he would borrow an idea if he thought it was cool, but he would still do his own thing with it.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't searching for them ideas out of them is what I mean. Is he was, if something came up, he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. He wasn't like, oh, well, there's this book. We're going to just use that one for a movie or a TV show. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't happening. Well, 4 if you're Sam Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a given, Sam,
what was I gonna say? Yeah, because
he's a bad mother. Watch your mouth. Anyway.
Because before George Lucas's Clone Wars series, there were no inhibitor chips. You read the original Revenge of the Sith novelization, and Commander Cody has this moment when he gets Order 66 with why did I just give him back his lightsaber? Why couldn't I have gotten this order 5 minutes ago?
Mm-hmm.
In reference to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Whereas with the inhibitor chips, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It also makes Palpatine a far more insidious villain. Insidious.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, because he basically turns the clones into droids for a few minutes.
Right.
But
hello, Janice.
How you doing tonight, Janice?
So yeah, I mean it's a lot to take in, and and there's a lot of complaints. But I'm going to put up a slide here in just a quick second, because one of the things that drives me absolutely just batty is the conversation that's being had that Kathleen Kennedy does not understand movies, that she doesn't know what she's doing, and that she's stupid and all these other things, and that she has no intelligence when it comes to movies. This is a woman who was handpicked by George to do a lot of the things that she was already doing in Lucasfilms before Disney bought it. She co-founded Amblin Entertainment with Steven Spielberg. She's a 4-time Oscar-nominated producer.
Mm-hmm.
She knows her way around a movie. In fact, excuse me, if you look at this, and I know this is a little small, and I do apologize, but the problem is that she's been involved with so many movies that it's hard for me to just go, yeah, she's never done anything. So, excuse me.
You okay over there?
Yeah, it's tickle in the throat. So if you don't, if you think Kathleen Kennedy is stupid, stop watching Jurassic Park. Stop watching The Color Purple. Stop watching Back to the Future. Stop watching Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Stop watching Arachnophobia, Gremlins 2, Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, E.T., there's The Money Pit. Like I said, there's The Land Before Time. There's all these movies. So, I mean, then that's just a couple of them that are on this list. So if you think that she's stupid and you think that she has ruined Star Wars and Indiana Jones, then this entire list of movies needs to be stricken from your record, because clearly she doesn't know anything.
Okay, I did find one on the list that I'm willing to skip.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
But that's The Last Airbender from 2010.
Well, there's that. Is that all she's done?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Lucasfilm has done so much before she took over Lucasfilms that I think they forget that. Absolutely. And two, there's also, she did Schindler's List with Spielberg.
Yeah. Hook.
One of the most powerful movies ever made. And yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing. Kathleen says, hot take, just stop watching Land Before Time anyway. Well, yeah, I mean, there's the issue of emotional damage. From
we must stick together.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a horrible human being.
I don't need to cry. I'm not going to cry. But yeah, so I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to take this about. If you want to see this, all you have to do is go to the Wikipedia page for Kathleen Kennedy. It's right there. That and Homeward Bound. You can't do it.
Oof.
And Kathleen's going to come slap you.
Let's throw in Marley and Me, Old Yeller. What other movies where the dog dies?
No. Who hurt you? There's
a list.
Well, there was a Nazi penis pun, so
it starts with Dad. Dad's drug dealer. I'm feeling a little honest. I'm sorry. Also, you know too much.
I know too much.
We can't not be friends at this point.
Yeah. His father's Nazi cocaine dealer.
I wish I was making stuff up.
Oh, there's a whole story there. Get to Know Your Nerds. Great episode. Go back and watch that. There's a whole story. Dioramas, images were shown. Yeah. Yeah. We're stuck with each other at this point. Yeah, pretty much. We know too much about each other. His dad, his other dad, his other dad.
I have not had enough to tell that story.
No, we'll do that the weekend. The next time you guys come over, we come to your house, and we'll bring a bottle. So, but yeah, so there's the thing. We're looking at this, and we've got TikToks going out there, and of people using the scenes from Phantom Menace, where everybody's celebrating and doing all the things, and using that as a celebration for Kathleen Kennedy supposedly leaving. But that's the thing. We still don't have confirmation as to whether that's true or not. Again, reading comprehension is a skill that many people are missing out on.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yep. And I mean, I kind of get it. You hear a rumor and you want to be the first person on the internet to like tell everybody the rumor. But if you haven't checked your facts, you know, I'm not telling it on the air. Okay. It might be a $100 a month Patreon thing. Okay.
We'll bring you into the story, Jesse. I promise. We'll make you put. She's got some cool stories too, so she could totally be part of the club.
Okay.
We've compared notes a little bit.
Oh my.
Her and I have compared notes a little bit. Yeah, she can be part of the club. Yeah. So here's the thing. You can, like John said, you can have your opinion, but dumping all over somebody because you think that she made Star Wars woke. Star Wars has been woke since 1977, has always been woke, will always be woke. The fact that you are just now catching on to it 40 some odd years later says more about you than the stories in the fandom.
Well,
I'm sorry that you just didn't like it. Yeah, and I'm sorry that you just didn't like it because, you know, the latest hero is a girl.
Yeah.
Whoops. Too bad.
Right.
Princess Leia was also a hero, and she was a girl last I checked.
Yeah. And honestly, the whole thing would have fallen apart without her.
There is no original trilogy without Leia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She was the only one who figured out the Empire only let them go so they could track them back to the base. Everybody else like, hey, we got away because we're big, strong men.
Han thought, of course we got it. We escaped because I'm awesome. No, I'm saying that sarcastically. I love Han Solo, but he was stupid in that moment.
Oh yeah.
He was diving into his own bravado, which I also love the fact that George was making fun of those type of guys and, you know, all stuck up on their own bravado and things. And I love the fact that most of the people who are talking stupidly about Star Wars are stuck on their own bravado and not understanding what's going on. Luke wasn't that bright either.
Luke is handed a weapon by a weird guy in the desert, and first thing he does is point it at his face. Ray didn't do that.
To quote Jane Fonda, being woke just means you give a damn about other people. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much you care.
Yeah.
You worry about other people. You're concerned about other people. You want other people to be well in their life.
Yeah.
Oh,
you realize some other people might not have had the same advantages of you, and you would like to level the playing field a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah. Sad week.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's been kind of a rough week. And the thing that scares me is that these things usually come in threes. We've got two. We've got Michelle Trachtenberg, Gene Hackman, which the Trachtenberg one looks like that was a complication from organ transplant that had just had some severe complications and did not go well. And then Gene Hackman, that one now looks like it might be suspicious. And yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Roberta Flack did die this week. Okay. So there's your three.
Okay.
There's your three. Yeah, Roberta Flack, great singer. So you left the child unattended.
Kathleen, what are you thinking? Although I'm sitting here and I could hear how did that get outside the tub? And I'm just, I'm in here this time.
Yeah. Sorry, I brought the room down. No, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. You know, we need to acknowledge those things too, because those are all part of pop culture and what is happening right now. And the topic that we're talking about is literally about what's happening in the world right now. So, I mean, that's fine. Her cat is covered in spray foam soap.
Oh.
Yeah, you totally heard Kathleen in the background. I heard Kathleen in the background too.
It's a small house. You know, Kathleen's
voices were raised.
Yeah, her voice projects really well. Something about being a trained vocalist. I don't know. Anyway,
well, you know, there's that. Yeah. There's definitely that. So I think what we're at is the point that instead of trying to make Kathleen Kennedy the villain of your story, learn how to read, learn how to comprehend what you've read.
Finish the paragraph.
Stop listening to Star Wars Theory for crying out loud. Critical Drinker, a couple other knuckleheads. Yeah, a couple other knuckleheads like that. And instead, be thankful for what you have gotten in Star Wars, because it is far more than I ever got as a kid. I grew up with just the original trilogy, and I was happy. And I know, like, I sound like I'm the old man on the front lawn right now. And God darn it, I was happy. I had just the original trilogy. But that's what I had. And there's so much more. So we need to be, I think really where we're at the point that we need to be this. We need to say thank you to Kathleen Kennedy, because as it says there, under her watch, Disney brought us Rebels, Clone Wars Season 7, Andor, Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, Rogue One. And then there's all the other things that the Fandom Menace has complained about, even though there's a lot of other people that really liked some of those things, like the Book of Boba Fett, like Ahsoka, like The Acolyte, and some other things. But where would we be without Clone Wars Season 7? Where would we be without Rebels and Rebels Season 4? Andor is a magnificent series, and I cannot wait for Season 2.
I'm a little concerned about the release schedule, because that's a lot of viewing to cram into a week for me.
It is.
Especially before Thursday when we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But
there'll be some early or late night watchings for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many things that she has been a part of, because she is the executive producer, that she is been the producer on, that instead of looking at it and going, oh, well, I hate her because of this one thing. That's like saying you hate, Ford Motor Company because they released the Pinto in the 70s. I mean, right. I get it if you do. Trust me, it was a crap car. But, I mean,
But if it got you from point A to point B, if it got you where you needed to be, you were happy with it.
Right. I mean, I can't speak too much. I drove a Ford Tempo for a couple years. Trust me, no, there was no looking cool in that car. Trust me, I tried, and it wasn't happening.
I learned to drive in a 77 Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, you did.
If I hit a deer, it didn't matter.
No. Well, they had to have something big enough to protect the drugs in the trunk. So,
witnesses. Anyway.
Yeah, Chessie, that's true. They never think of podcasters when they do odd drops like that. Yeah, they don't. I don't think they ever will, but it is what it is. And
then they're cramming Daredevil in at the beginning of March, and I haven't seen the schedule for that yet. I don't know how I'm going to do both at once.
It's gonna be a rough go.
I'm going to be so tired, but so happy.
But it'll be worth it, because cool stuff to watch and talk about. And
I was watching some early reviews of Daredevil Born Again this morning before work, and I may have giggled a little bit. Okay, a lot.
Yeah, the trailers and things that I have seen and the leaks. I'm like, yeah.
But
and now they're also talking about development of Punisher as well. So and John Barenthal's involved as a writer and a producer.
Well, what I read yesterday was that they're actually going to do like a Marvel Presents one shot of the Punisher. So like an hour-long special, hour and a half. So basically a Punisher movie on the side. Like they did Werewolf by Night. Yeah, exactly. It's
yes, please.
Yeah.
I can start streaming Wicked on repeat March 21st.
And I can be
you'll be watching TV on your phone. And that when you did Picard. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you talking about that. So
but okay, going back to Star Trek. I don't know why other fandoms can't be more like Trek. Because a few months ago, I decided I was fed up with Star Wars, especially after the whole Acolyte thing. It's like, I'm just going to dive into Star Trek for a while. And I posted about it on Threads, and I got so many random comments from different people about, this is going to be great, you're going to love this, you're going to watch that show, So helpful. So not a single negative word about any actor, crew member, production, series, anything, just all absolute positivity. I loved that.
The only difference that I've found is that where the Trek fandom, in my opinion, approaches the Fandom Menace is when it's around the topic of Discovery and sometimes Enterprise. The rest of the shows seem to be pretty wildly accepted, but even at that, the fans, because I've done the same thing, and I've had a lot of interactions with different Trek fans, and most of them have even said, "Hey, sorry, you guys in Star Wars are going through this right now. We went through this with Discovery and the woke and all these things, but you guys will get through it, and hopefully you guys will have a chance to get better like our fandom did." And I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah.
Again, Trekly makes me hopeful. So
yeah,
we're not perfect, but we adapt. Exactly.
All any of us can do.
And Jesse is proud of you.
Well, Jesse, honestly, I grew up watching Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. When the satellite or the antenna would get just the right angle and the breeze came across the bay the right way, that I could actually pick up that channel from like 50 miles away, and I loved it. It was clean. It was hopeful. There wasn't a lot of infighting. It was, just a great experience. Okay, the first episode of Next Gen I saw was, I forget the name of it. It's the one where Tasha Yar dies.
Yar.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, this is sort of brutal, but I like it. It's a good show. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
You cannot have a Star Wars cruise like a Trek. No. Oh my God, no! There would be so much fighting. Oh, it'd be awful. Skin of Evil is the name of the episode.
Yes.
I knew Jesse would know.
Of course she would.
Jesse's my Star Trek Sherpa, by the way. If I ever have a question, anything Trek related, I ask Jesse because I know that Jesse's going to know the answer because Jesse is very smart. She's very, very smart and very, very cool. So again, if you're not following her, please go follow her and her show. It's awesome.
Yeah.
She does her best and she does a dang good job at it. But yeah, so I mean, there's lots of different ways that you could take anything, an announcement, anything Kathleen Kennedy related. Okay, but so let's play devil's advocate here for a second. Let's say that it is true.
Okay.
Let's say Kathleen Kennedy retires.
Okay.
Who do you want to take over her position as Lucasfilm's president? I have my pick already.
I honestly don't know. I was trying to think of this earlier. I didn't know you were going to ask this, but
I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to surprise you.
Okay. What's your pick?
Filoni.
I like that idea because he's got a great grasp of the universe and everything, but I think he's more of a creative than an administrative type person.
Yeah, probably.
So I mean, while it could be cool, that would mean less.
I wouldn't want to take him away from the creative though. I think that would be the problem.
Right. And that's the thing is with these, you have your administrative people, you have your creative people, and you have your support people.
Right. And Favreau and Filoni,
Yeah, they're the creative core now.
The holy Filoni and his favorite Favreau.
Yeah, I mean, we could throw Sam Witwer in there for a bit of a trinity. No. I wouldn't complain.
Giggity.
But I honestly don't know who I'd want to have in charge. Can't think of anybody.
When I said Filoni, I was not considering the fact that doing that would take him away from the more of the day-to-day creative things, which I would like to leave him in as he's the creative director at this point. So I'd like to leave him in that. I guess I would like to leave him in that role. So I guess I don't know either. Yeah. But yeah, and absolutely, Jesse. Filoni, he would do a great job. I really do think he would, but we would miss his creativity. And I would miss the way that he takes this, and I'm going to say this very specifically because it pisses off all the Acolyte haters, this thread from here and this thread from here and ties them together, so that we have one continuous thread.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. I don't know how the Legends EU could have so many different Force cults and Force religions in 20 years of novels, and suddenly people are butthurt about a different perspective in television.
Because they never read the books, and the ones who are the
Oh,
most upset never read
but,
the books. They had no clue, and all they're like, this ain't my Force cult, and I ain't gonna have it.
but they claim that that was better, right? And
I'm an Acolyte hater, but I get your point.
that's fine. You don't have to like
That's
it.
fine.
We're cool.
You don't have to like it, but but you understand the point, and that is the point. Is that I said point a lot.
PowerPoint.
Anyway, but that's the thing, really. I mean, is that you have the ability to understand that it's okay to look at the Force from a different angle and see it a different way, and even conceptualize it a different way. And I love the fact that because of the Clone Wars, they were okay with the Night Sisters and their magics, but they weren't okay with this other one because there was there was some lesbian space witches who one of them happened to be of color, and God forbid they called it a thread instead of the Force.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Although, okay, one of my favorite things from Legends, I don't remember which character this was. He made a lightsaber out of a swoop bike handle.
Oh.
But it was adjustable. Like he would use the throttle switch to adjust it. And it would go from like dagger length to lightsaber length to like 9 feet long and change color each time.
All I'm picturing is Crocodile Dundee. What? It's not a lightsaber. Oh, that's a lightsaber. Anyway.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. She did love the Coven.
Yeah.
Did I say it right that time? Coven?
Yes,
Coven?
you said it right. I'm so proud of you for learning English.
I used to pronounce it Coven, and he would make fun of me. So Coven, that was her favorite part of the Acolyte.
It was a cool
concept.
That. They did it really well.
It was a very cool concept, and it's one of those things that one of those storylines from the Acolyte that would be great to see it up on screen for a second season. But yeah, it is what it is.
Well,
I'm still hoping that we're going to see something out of that.
So in April we get Star Wars Celebration. It's in Japan this year. Okay. But
I think there'll be an announcement.
Apparently Manny is going to be there, who played Chimera. I can never remember his last name.
You don't have to. You just have no Chimera. It's good.
Yeah. And he's going to be doing some stuff. There's going to be announcements made. He may or may not be involved in those.
It's about to be very loud.
Why?
My pit bull has realized that her boy is home.
Oh boy.
And that is her favorite human of all time.
Oh boy.
So sometimes it gets loud. If it starts getting too loud, I'll mute my mic and you can just talk, John.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And I'll tell you stories about Tim that I know. Anyway,
it was nice having John on the show tonight. The best part is he can't bring himself back on screen anymore.
No, I can't.
Hi, John.
Hi, how's it going?
And there she goes.
And I instinctively reached for the mouse to like put myself back on. I'm like, dang it.
Dang it.
Don't have that power anymore. I didn't do anything wrong.
No, we just we split our StreamYard with another company, and they needed the admin seat that he had, so we had to have one admin seat for our company, one admin seat for their company. So it works out.
That's cool. I don't mind.
So, but yeah, so I mean that's the thing, guys. We want to, and I can't stress this enough. Like what you like, love what you love, hate what you hate. Just please, for the love of God, stop watching Star Wars Theory. So Chelsea says, truth is, I love the idea of the acolyte. Just think they executed it well.
There were definitely
There's
parts
some
of it
low
that were
points.
better. Yeah. I mean, the things that were good were really good.
Agreed.
And then there were other parts that, okay, they could have done that better.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think that the storytelling of Saul and how he got to, what happened, and the drifting back and forth, although it all makes sense at the end, just getting there on a week-to-week basis sometimes was a little much. So,
especially with the wonky runtimes.
Right.
The runtimes were just terrible.
And there goes an Nolan.
Yep.
Hi.
He made his internet debut.
She said, Jesse said, I'd actually never heard of him until I was warned to stay away. Yeah. So, you can go watch him. If you want, but
actually his old content is really interesting because it was actually like about Star Wars stories and like alternate universe idea stories he had and stuff. And that was really cool. I liked that. That was cool.
And then there was a click in the brain and he was like, oh, if I jump on the hate train, I can make more money and then I can grift my fans and stir up controversies and put out merchandise about the controversies and make more money. And then ask them for more money for my fan films while sitting on my Lamborghini. Yeah, that's a thing.
I was actually just going to mention that.
Yeah. So anyway,
great minds, Tim.
Look, and there's a whole section of people out there like, oh, you're just mad because he has a Lamborghini. No, I'm not mad that he has a Lamborghini.
I love my minivan.
Yeah, if you can afford it, by all means, drive whatever you want. I don't care. But don't sit on your hood of your Lamborghini and complain that you don't have enough money to make a fan film that you're trying to put out to make money off of your fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but
that's my issue. Anyway, without devolving into a bunch of words that I try not to use on the internets, I think that's all, folks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you have more you want to say?
I don't know. I mean, we're running a little shorter than you, but then again, your son just got home, so I get it.
So no, I am all ears, Jonathan. You say what you need to say.
Just
old Johnny boy, fire away.
I've struggled with why can't people just be happy with things? Why does it always have to be about taking away somebody else's fun? And I would love to talk Star Trek. I am not current on things right now. But DS9, absolutely love it. Next gen, it's what got me into Trek, because I'll be honest, the original series and the animated series did not do it for me.
I still say that in order to watch the animated series, you need to be on some type of psychedelic.
I mean, there's that.
That is a hot mess of wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I am coming on your shows. You got to.
Oh, you are.
Remind me of the date and the topic and all that fun stuff. Shoot me a note, Jesse, so I don't forget, because I have this symptom where things go in this ear and then right out the other side. So
yeah, we actually had to cancel a thing recently because Tim forgot to put something more important on his calendar, and he wanted to not have to sleep in the garage. So
yeah, that was totally a thing. Yeah.
We understand Tim.
Yeah,
I understand Tim, because I do that all the time. If I didn't have a shared Google Calendar with my wife, I'd be lost.
I did have a shared Google Calendar with my wife, and I still screwed the pooch on that one. So
yeah,
she believes it.
Unique talent.
Jesse knows me well enough. Jesse knows me well enough. She knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But let's pick a sidebar topic. We'll talk Trek, and we'll get Jesse to come on and ramble with us.
Yeah.
Jesse, you want to do that? You want to come talk Trek with us and ramble nonstop and have fun and laugh and say stupid stuff with us?
I mean, especially if we did it like around, I don't know, beginning of April, because there's First Contact Day, which is April 5th, I think.
There we go.
which is also the weekend, conveniently the weekend of Trek Talks.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know if we've got anything else going on that weekend, if she's got stuff going on that weekend, but you know.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. We're hoping, and I have to hear back from John Billingsley, but I'm hoping that we're going to get John Billingsley back on the show to be able to promote Trek Talks. He was going to the first time before we had to change everything around because of the LA fires and the cancellation, making sure that everybody out there was safe and everything that they were dealing with was an awful lot. So, but hopefully we'll be able to get John back on the show, John and Bonnie Gordon. John Billingsley is Dr. Phlox, of course, from Enterprise, and Bonnie Gordon is the voice of the protostar in Prodigy. So
pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely cool stuff. So, but yeah, and she says, yeah, she's game. So yeah, we'll make that work out, cool. Jesse. We'll do some talking. We'll swap some dates with you and see what works out for you and what we can do. So, but yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Until Andor comes out, I'm kind of burned out on Star Wars right now. Just because
honestly, I haven't been watching a whole bunch either myself.
You know.
I figure pretty much closer to the start of April. It comes out April 22nd.
Yeah.
I will probably start watching the first season of Andor again, just to kind of get myself back familiarized. I mean, although I know the basics of the story, but just to make sure there's not something that I missed, and watch those 12 episodes again. Been trying to get Bonnie. Yeah, she is busy. She has her fingers in so many things. Jesse never wants to be on the show when I'm there.
Well, Kathleen, if it works out, I will switch spots with you so you and Jesse can pick on Tim for an hour. Okay. I will take Honor to dance class. I will handle bath time. I will do whatever if it makes you happy.
Do I get a vote in this? Because
no,
I'm about to get outnumbered.
It's about time.
I'm gonna get beat up.
It'll be on the internet for us to watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jesse's giggling about that right now. So, not true. Tim is making sure. Huh? Wait, what?
See, you talked too much. You gave him an opening.
No, I tried leaving like 5 minutes ago, and you're like, "This is early. Why are we quitting now, Tim?" This is why, John. This is why.
I'm just in a good mood. That's all.
I see that. All right. So, hey, guys, as a reminder, go out there, say thank you to Kathleen Kennedy. You don't have to like everything she's done. You don't have to like her. But if you're appreciative of the good things that have come from Star Wars since the Disney acquisition that are all in this list, and you can't say that you don't like one of those things, then wow. I don't want to say that you're not a Star Wars fan, but I kind of think that you might not be a Star Wars fan, and that would be rough, because that's a lot of good content there. That's a lot of fun Star Wars content.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, pick on Tim time. All the time is pick on Tim time.
It can be the pot show. Pick on Tim show.
It's not where I thought you were going with that, but okay.
Oh,
and on that note, that really is all, folks.
Yeah.
So until next time, may the Force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper.
And next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same battiness.
Copyright 2025 FSF PopCast. Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.